What if there was a book that held the power to redefine our understanding of heaven, earth, and the very fabric of good and evil? A book so revolutionary, so dangerous, it was deliberately erased from the sacred texts that have shaped Western civilization. This is the story of a lost testament, a forbidden scripture whose secrets have echoed through the dust of centuries, waiting to be heard. This is the story of the Book of Enoch. In the vast library of human history, some stories are whispered, not read. For nearly 2 millennia, the Book of Enoch was one such whisper. It was a ghost in the annals of faith, a phantom text known only through fragmented references and cryptic mentions left behind by the earliest Christian and Jewish scholars. We know it was once held in the highest esteem, a work widely read, deeply revered, and considered by many to be divinely inspired. Its influence was so profound that its words are even quoted directly in the New Testament, woven into the very scripture that would eventually exclude it. And then, it vanished. As religious traditions were codified and canons were closed, this extraordinary manuscript was relegated to the shadows, branded as apocryphal, and systematically purged from the collective memory of the Western world. It became a forbidden book, a source of suppressed history, its profound revelations sealed away. For centuries, its full scope remained a mystery, a tantalizing puzzle for theologians and historians. What ancient knowledge could have been deemed so dangerous, so utterly revelatory, that it had to be buried? The answer would remain hidden until the 18th century, when a dramatic rediscovery sent shockwaves through the academic and religious worlds. Far from the libraries of Europe, preserved for generations within the ancient Christian traditions of Ethiopia, complete copies of the Book of Enoch were found. The ghost had returned. This rediscovery was not just the recovery of a lost text, it was the reopening of a forgotten chapter in human spirituality. A fervent, often contentious academic debate was reignited, and the world was forced to confront a vision of the past that was far stranger and more complex than ever imagined. The Ethiopian manuscripts brought to light staggering narratives that seemed to predate much of the biblical text we know today. Here were vivid, detailed accounts of fallen angels, celestial journeys to the very throne of God, and dire apocalyptic prophecies that painted a stunning picture of a world grappling with divine intervention and human destiny. The book offers a unique window into the cosmological and ethical concerns of a forgotten era. It describes a universe teeming with spiritual forces, where the line between the divine and the mortal was perilously thin. It speaks of a primeval cosmic crime, an event that set in motion the conflict between light and darkness that has defined our world ever since. At the heart of this cosmic drama are the beings known as the Watchers. According to the text, these were not malicious demons from the start, but a host of angels who were assigned to watch over the fledgling human race. But from their celestial vantage point, they began to lust after the daughters of men. In an act of cosmic rebellion, they descended to earth, abandoning their heavenly station to take human wives. This unholy union gave birth to a monstrous offspring, the Nephilim, a race of giants who consumed the earth and filled it with violence and corruption. But the Watchers' sin was not merely lust. They betrayed their sacred duty by imparting forbidden knowledge to humanity, secrets of weaponry, sorcery, cosmetics, and astrology. They taught humanity the arts of war and deception, unleashing a torrent of sin and suffering that corrupted the whole world. It is a story of divine transgression that offers a startlingly different explanation for the origin of evil on earth, placing the blame not on a single act of human disobedience in a garden, but on a rebellion that began in the heavens. The book's protagonist and purported author is Enoch himself, a figure of profound mystery. In the book of Genesis, he is given only a few brief, enigmatic lines. A patriarch who walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. The Book of Enoch expands this brief mention into an epic saga. Enoch is transformed from a minor patriarch into a celestial scribe, a chosen prophet who is taken on a guided tour of the cosmos. He travels through the seven heavens, witnesses the inner workings of creation, sees the storehouses of the sun and stars, and is shown the future of humanity, from the great flood to the final judgment. He is the intermediary between heaven and earth, the one tasked with delivering a message of damnation to the fallen watchers and a prophecy of hope for the righteous. But could one man, an ancient patriarch from the dawn of time, truly be the author of such profound and complex visions? This question lies at the heart of the scholarly debate. Modern analysis suggests the Book of Enoch is not a single unified text, but a composite work, a mosaic of earlier traditions and later additions pieced together by multiple hands over a great span of time. Scholars speculate its origins lie somewhere between the 3rd century BCE and the 1st century CE. It is not the work of one man, they argue, but the accumulated wisdom, fears, and hopes of a community across generations. This view doesn't diminish its power. Rather, it frames it as a vital record of a crucial, transformative period in the development of Western religious thought. It is a pseudepigraphical masterpiece, a work attributed to an ancient authority to give it weight and credence in a world awash with new ideas. The discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls in the 20th century further complicated and enriched the story. Among the scrolls found in the Qumran caves were fragments of the Book of Enoch written in Aramaic, its original language. This proved that the book was not just an Ethiopian anomaly, but was a significant and influential text within Second Temple Judaism, the very world from which both Rabbinic Judaism and Christianity would emerge. The Essene community at Qumran, believed to be the custodians of the scrolls, clearly held Enoch in high regard, treating it as sacred scripture. Its influence is undeniable. Many scholars now see the Book of Enoch as a pivotal text, a wellspring of ideas that profoundly shaped the theological landscape. Key concepts that are often taken for granted in Judaism and Christianity, such as the detailed hierarchy of angels and demons, the personification of evil, the figure of a coming Messiah, the resurrection of the dead, and the final judgment, are not fully fleshed out in the Old Testament. Yet, they appear in the Book of Enoch with stunning clarity and detail. This perspective advocates for its historical and theological significance, suggesting that by excluding it, we lost a crucial bridge connecting ancient Israelite beliefs with the doctrines that would come to define the world's largest religions. So, why was it forbidden? Why was a book so foundational cast out of the canon? Some who justify its exclusion point to its more fantastical elements and perceived inconsistencies with what became canonical scripture. Perhaps its cosmology was too elaborate, its angelic lore too specific, its tone too relentlessly apocalyptic. Others point to what they describe as Gnostic undertones, a worldview that sees the material world as inherently corrupt and salvation as an escape achieved through secret knowledge, or gnosis. The story of the Watchers imparting forbidden knowledge could be seen as a Gnostic-like myth, one that may have threatened the authority of an emerging church hierarchy that sought to be the sole arbiter of divine truth. In this view, the Book of Enoch was not just inconsistent, it was a theological threat. Yet a third, and perhaps most radical, interpretation has captured the modern imagination. In a world fascinated by ancient mysteries and the possibility of life beyond our own, the Book of Enoch has found a new audience. Those who subscribe to ancient astronaut theories read its vivid accounts not as spiritual allegory, but as a literal record of extraterrestrial contact. They see the Watchers not as angels, but as advanced beings descending from the sky. The forbidden knowledge they imparted was not sorcery, but science and technology, gifted to a primitive human race. The Nephilim were not demonic giants, but perhaps the results of genetic hybridization. This perspective challenges the very foundations of conventional historical and religious narratives, recasting a sacred text as a forgotten chapter in our cosmic history. It transforms the book from a piece of apocalyptic literature into a potential piece of evidence, a first-hand account of an alien encounter that our ancestors could only describe in the religious language available to them. These three diverging interpretations, a foundational religious text, a dangerous heresy, and a record of alien visitation, underscore the book's enduring power to provoke, to challenge, and to inspire speculation across vastly different fields of study. It is a text that refuses to be silenced, a work whose legacy is as complex and debated as its origins. From ancient Essene communities in the Judean desert to modern conspiracy theorists on the internet, the Book of Enoch continues to command an audience, forcing us to question what we think we know about our own past. Today, we are left to meticulously piece together the fragments of its forgotten history. We can study the faded ink on the Ethiopian manuscripts, analyze the torn Aramaic fragments from the Dead Sea Scrolls, and trace its subtle influence through the texts that did make it into our Bibles. We can explore the profound implications of its narratives for understanding ancient spirituality and uncover the political and theological reasons why this extraordinary text became forbidden. But the core enigma remains. The book stands as a towering monument from a lost world, a testament to a time when the veil between our reality and another was thought to be thin, a time when humanity looked to the heavens and saw not just stars, but watchers. What are we to make of this forbidden book today? Is it a work of profound theological insight that was wrongly suppressed? A collection of heretical myths that was rightly set aside? Or a coded account of an ancient encounter that could change our understanding of humanity's place in the universe? The text itself offers no easy answers, leaving us, the inheritors of its fractured legacy, to confront its mysteries. As we gaze into the past through this strange and captivating window, we are left to wonder, what other echoes of time are still out there, waiting in the shadows to be discovered?